README that explains how this is working and what all these files are doing. So basically what I have is I have this cloud configure text, and this is what will configure my service in the cloud. Okay. And the way it will configure it is that they expose two URLs. The ping URL is just a health check URL. This is for the Elastic Load Balancer to ping and make sure that the instance is healthy and alive. And then there's another URL called work, which is once this is hit, a sort of complicated mathematical operation to be carried out. And the only purpose of this is to cause load on the server. Okay, and so each of these servers will install Nginx. And I also need to, once Nginx is installed on the server, I also need a specific Nginx configuration to be placed there. So it's not just a stock package. Once it's installed, I want the configuration to be put in place. And then I have a piece of Python code which is under the server. Next, I have a shell script, configure autoscaling, which I've done, which I'll show you what it looks like. And this will bring up the autoscaling group. And then I have another script which is the client, it's similar to the client, and I have a script which runs the test. Okay, so once run test concludes, it will write a number of files. One of them is called last run instances. So this test run takes 14 minutes, and during these 14 minutes, the script will basically snapshot the instances that exist. So you can see one instance pending in service. Then that instance in service, and as the load increases, then there's another pending instance that's being pulled online, and it goes to service, etc. Okay, and so here I just wrote some of the prerequisites, like what you need to install a new machine in order to make this run, and how you would run it. Yeah, so feel free to browse this afterwards, and I'll show you now what this stuff looks like. Okay, there's my VI. Okay, so here's the cloud config thing, and this is also documented. So if you look for cloud init on the web, you should see a wiki which shows you how to configure stuff. So and all I want really here. So on line 18, so I say, okay, once the instance is up, I want these additional packages to be installed. Then, in order so I can SSH into my instance, I also want SSH key to be imported. A public key. In this particular case, it is taken from the Launchpad website. Then I have a number of commands here. So once all this happens, then I can specify a number of commands that should be run. Okay. So you see what I'm doing here. Basically, I'm creating a directory. On line 39, I say create this directory, varchar. Then go there, clone this repository you just looked at, clone it. Then take the line 41, take the Nginx conf file from the repository and copy it into the etc Nginx directory. And last but not least, so restart Nginx so that the new configuration takes effect. And last but not least, go into the code directory and start the server. Which I have. And I mean, if you have time, you can look at the server. It's fairly trivial. Okay. And last but not least, I should say I want the proper time zone set up as well. So what this will do is you bring up an instance. And then once the instance boots up, it will go through all this and configure it properly. Okay, so then we have. Let's look at the configuration. Sorry, do you have any questions regarding this? Yes, go ahead.
What about, I mean, this is all done during the boot up of the instance.
Yes.
So is there any way, this service is fairly involved, because obviously it could take a long time if you have to install a package.
Yeah.
Is there no way to like pre-configure virtual image or whatever?
Yes, that's the way.
All this.
So there's something called an Amazon machine image that you can create yourself. So you can bring up like a stock Ubuntu server, do all the configuration to that you want, and say, now this state I want to save in an AMI, Amazon machine image. And when you bring up instances and in the launch configuration for the auto-scaling group, you will see that an Amazon machine image is specified. Because this is something you need to specify. So what kind of server do you want to work out? And then you can just specify your machine image.
So this script is executed every time instance is booted.
Yes.
So it will fail the next time it boots because it cannot clone again in the same directory.
Well, it doesn't have. The hard disk is ephemeral. So I don't use elastic block storage. I use some instances which don't have so if you shut down the instance, see, I don't think you can even like pause an instance without EBS. So these are the cheapest instances. So there's storage, but if it goes down, for instance. Yes.
And while these commands are running, then will the elastic load balancer already send requests to this?
There's a hold off period which you also can specify. So you can say to the elastic load balancer, okay, give the instance like 4 minutes before you start cleaning it, for instance. Okay. So all of these resources are fairly configurable, and the stuff you would want is there. Yeah. Okay, so let's have a look at the configuration then. Okay, so this is a shell script. So and it takes like a number of parameters. So let's skip this. This is all parameter handling, and this is the actual working. So these are all Amazon utilities. This is something you can install in your machine. Okay. So Ubuntu has some of these. Like I'm running Debian at present, and they're not packaged for Debian. What you can do is you just download them from Amazon and unpack them. They are all Java programs, in essence. And once you have configured things properly, like access key, secret key, etc., just use them. So the first command is the creation of the launch configuration. Okay, so the launch configuration tells the auto-scaling group how the instance shall be created. Okay. And so you see the typical parameters. So group is a security group. It applies to the instance. These are the firewall rules for an instance. And then the image ID, what you asked about. So in this case, it is an Ubuntu 11.10 server image without EBS. And I believe that was like let me show you what it looks like. So see here line 36. That's the end. Okay. And then the instance type. So there's a number of instance types in AWS. So I believe this is there's only one smaller than this one. Okay. But like they're large instances. The instances like with 4 GB of memory. The instances for CPU intensive work, etc. So here you say what kind of instance you want. The key. So this is something you can create in the AWS management console, and it's like an SSH key pair. So it's a key pair that you can specify, so you can SSH into an instance. And now the user data file is the cloud init script. The health check type. So because we're combining an auto-scaling group with an elastic load balancer, I'm telling here, okay, the auto-scaling group shall rely on the health checks performed by the elastic load balancer. Okay. Grace period, this is what you asked about, I believe. Yeah. So basically, give the instance 5 minutes time to come up and get itself set up properly before performing any health checks on it. And last but not least, the region. In this case, it's EREST. Yes.
The purpose of this script is only not that you can like run this in your local machine and not clicking on the
Yes.
Amazon interface.
I hate clicking.
What?
I hate clicking.
Okay.
So,
No click like.
no click like, yeah. Also, you can automate things like this.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's hard to automate clicking. Doesn't scale very well. Yeah. So next we create the auto scaling group, starting on line 135. So we give the name, and now we associate it with the launch configuration here, and also with one or more load balancers, and we also give the size. So in this case, it's 1 instance at least, and 4 at the maximum. We can give tags. Tags are very handy. Like if you have a complex setup, you want to tag everything, so it's easier to find things. And remember that you can associate it with a number of availability zones. In this case, it will be just one in the region. So next step is to define the scale-up policy. So the scale-up policy is tied to the alarm underneath it. Okay. So we say we use the AS put scaling policy command, and in this case we say we want, you see the adjustment type on line 148. Okay. So basically, if I need to scale up, I just want to scale up by 1 instance. Okay. And the cooldown period is half a minute, 30 seconds. So basically, I don't want, once you scale up, no further scale up action for at least 30 seconds. And then the alarm, which follows. So you see on line 153 the alarm actions, and the alarm action is the ID of the scale-up policy defined above it. So this is how you associate alarms with actions. Okay. The method name, what you want to watch, and the error statistic, the period. So basically this is if the average CPU utilization is above 60% for one period of 60 seconds, the alarm shall fire. Okay. And then the opposite, the scale-up policy. So the only difference here is line 166. So we say adjustment is -1. So we want to scale down 1 instance. Okay. And we also say so in the corresponding scale down alarm, we set a threshold of 50%. So it's slightly asymmetric. So basically, we scale up if the load is 60% or above, but when we scale down, we give it a bit more time. We only scale down when the load drops below 50%. Just a bit of breathing space. And so this sets up the auto scaling group, and this script, the same script can also be invoked to tear down. Okay, can you see how handy it is? Okay, if you need to do anything, you can automate things, you can bring things up, tear them down. So it's delete auto scaling group, delete launch config, build policy, and at the very end it's the deletion of the alarms. Yes?
The limit, where can you configure the limit? For example, I don't want to spend much or cost.
Yeah, so the limits, so there's two ways to set charging limits. Okay. One is, I believe, if you go to the AWS management console, you can have like a general limit. So whatever you do, don't exceed this amount of money. And you can also use alarms for the same purpose.
But I cannot set here, for example, only to +1 until 10, and then -1 until 5.
Oh, like ranges?
Yes. How between 5 and 10 servers, for example.
Okay. Well, so the auto scaling group has a size. Here.
Ah, okay. Sorry.
Month before, yeah. Okay, and I think that we can just run this. Let's run this. See what happens. So here's our code, and so this is how it's going to turn out things. Let's just say ZHX. Okay, so it's created one configuration, created the office can move, and created the alarm. So this is okay. The two alarms are created. Let's now look at what you can see now. Yeah, so we can run this command now. Okay, so what you can see here is so the group was created here, and it has one instance, and that instance is still pending. Okay, so it just takes a while for the instance to come up and do all the operation. What you can also see here is you can see like minimum, maximum, and current of instances. What we can do as well is we can use tools to monitor load. This is why the service commands me. Because I keep forgetting them. Here. And this shell. So this is like a while loop to go into and it will fetch the statistics. So the important thing to understand is like if you have like an auto-scaling group with some number of instances, you can also ask for the CPU utilization for the entire auto-scaling group. And this is what you actually do scale on, not only individual instances anymore. So you're going to start. I agree. So this is an interactive way to get metrics, metric data. So alright. So this is working with UTC. I should say 17. So now we see like snapshots, city utilization snapshots for our auto-scaling. Okay. So why is this so high, 46%? But this is still it should go down because this is still from basically getting things up. And I also think that our auto-scaling group is ready now. So let's look. Yeah. As you can see, so the instance is in service and it's healthy, it's ready for work. So let's start the demo then. Okay, so you see client A has started firing requests, and so it's basically getting results back from the server. And what we'll see here now is so we should start seeing like load increasing. Okay, so this is always delayed. Okay, so we first have a high load because the system came up. Then we have like zero load because the system was sitting there idle. Okay, with the load we're putting on the system right now, we'll show in a minute, literally. Are there any questions you'd like to ask for this run?
This cloud init script.
Yes.
Can it also be used when you want to set up your own machines without Amazon and stuff?
Cloud init, like without Amazon.
Yeah. You want to set up your own small cloud.
Yeah. I'm not sure about that.
It has to be at least